Hey kids, Dad here. It is Tuesday, May 12, 2026, and it is 8:08 a.m. I had a nice day yesterday. Work, ran that 10K. Then I had the American Legion meeting in the evening, and then got to catch the end of the Minnesota Wild hockey game. Disappointing outcome, but it happens. So this morning, typical routine, woke up a little bit before 6, did my morning readings, which, by the way, my morning meditations. I don't know if I've showed you guys these, but read a page from this book, Leave No One Behind. It's a morning meditation book by all just little daily 1 or 2 paragraphs from a different veteran on their experience with recovery. And then I read this one, Jesus Calling. This one takes same kind of model, every day a paragraph or 2, and it kind of puts into Jesus's words, like something that, like a message from Jesus, so to speak, and then it references whatever kind of passages it came from. So it's not quite like the Bible, because it doesn't quote the Bible. It takes passages from the Bible, tends to take a couple of them, and then kind of pair them together to put into something that Jesus might potentially, say. So I read those 2 every morning, did that, meditate on them for a little bit, and then I joined my men's meeting. And the topic of my men's meeting this morning was God and this childlike belief in God that we have to have that works for us. And talked about the Wright brothers. I don't know if you kids learned about the Wright brothers yet, but they're the first 2 people on record anyways to fly. They built this big crazy contraption. It was able to fly over some field, not very far. I think it flew about a football field or 2 in distance, but they did it. They were able to the first people to fly. It was the early 1900s, and they were only able to do that because they were just kind of naive. Nobody told them they couldn't. Well, that's not true. Everybody told them they couldn't. Everybody said it couldn't be done. But they had this belief, right? So then I kind of equated that to God. So God's an interesting thing. God, right? And I know, Cav, the last we had talked about it, driving home from church service one day, you had asked me, Dad, do you believe in God? If I remember correctly, I said, well, what do you think? And you pointed out that we can't prove God. There's no proof. I said, yeah, you're right. And you seem to be struggling with it. And I can absolutely relate, because I spent I'm 44, almost 45. I spent my entire life struggling with it. And for the longest time, and what I told you at that moment, Cav, was, well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say there isn't, because that'd be pretty silly, right? How can I prove that a God doesn't exist? I can't. It's like trying to prove aliens don't exist, right? It's a massive universe. How could I possibly say there's no such thing as aliens? I don't know. At the same time, I can't be sure that God does exist. Again, just like aliens. I've never seen an alien. Is it possible that aliens exist? Sure, it's possible. How likely is it? I don't know. With how big and crazy the universe is? It's probably. Yeah. I felt the same way about God. And to be honest, I still do. I still do, deep down. But here's the wild thing that I've experienced this last year and a half. I don't need to understand God. I don't need to understand God to have this amazing life full of miracles. All that I need to do is seek God. I need to make the effort. I need to, every morning, next to my bed right here, get on my knees and pray. Say, dear God, I don't understand you, but I trust you. I trust that you'll provide whatever I may need. And whatever challenges you put in my path today, I'll walk them with you. We'll get through them. I need to continue reading books like this one. Try to better understand this Jesus guy. My Bible. Got my nightstand. Going to a church service every Sunday, like I have been since last fall. Going to 4-day silent retreats at the Jesuit monastery. Did that last fall. It's where I had that miracle experience about you, Fiona. I'm signed up. I'm going again this coming fall. I'm going to do that every year. I'm going to keep doing it every year. I need to do a Bible study class like I do on Thursdays now. Got week 4 coming up. It's an 8-week course. Got week 4 of that this Thursday. I'm excited for that. I do all these things. I'm still not positive about God. I still can't explain God to you. I can't explain all these little details about God. I don't understand God myself. But what I do know, and what I do believe 110%, is that by me making the effort to seek God, I get these results that I can't explain. I don't think science can explain these results. I don't think anybody can explain these results. People can't explain that series of events related to you, Fiona. I was praying at the statue at that 4-day retreat. Praying at the statue and a deer comes out of the woods. Approaches me. Stares at me. Feet away from me. For several minutes. And then the first words out of a priest's mouth when the bell rang, being Psalm 42, like a deer flows to running water, our hearts naturally flow to God. As I go to write that in the journal, I write FIA. And you know, baby girl, in Irish what FIA means. Fia. Too much of a coincidence. And all that happens as I was praying for you. That's wild. Too much coincidence. Nobody can know that one morning, last December, when I was trying to decide, do I stay here at Bravo Zulu House, keep helping veterans, or do I go back to the Twin Cities, get a job with more money? Nobody knew that I prayed a prayer that morning to God for him to direct me. And suddenly an envelope with $1,000 cash shows up in the mail. Don't even know who sent it. Nobody knew I made that prayer. However, that $100,000 cash got sent in the mail, they didn't know I prayed that prayer that morning. That's beyond science. Science can't explain why I suddenly have such a full heart. Why I suddenly feel so at peace. So happy. So grateful. Even though I've got so many things I could be angry about. So many things I'd be frustrated with. But God can explain that. God is the reason for that. God's the reason I get to see you kids now every 2 weeks. Would not have happened without God directing my actions, my thoughts. But the key here, the message I hope you kids take away from this, is it doesn't matter if I understand God or not. In order for him to create these wonderful blessings in my life, all that matters is that I pursue him, that I seek him, that I make the effort, and that I do it earnestly, consistently, every single day. That's been working for me. I hope you kids give it a shot. I hope you kids give me a call. We can talk about this God thing, see where you're at. I can tell you where I'm at. Maybe we can figure it out together. Love you kids. We'll talk soon.